Yeah, Tracy and the Big D here on a Wednesday night. Well, no Tracy tonight, as I've mentioned before. It's me by myself flying solo, but not at the moment. I've got a very special guest in the studio all the way from Sydney. George Sich joins me. G'day, George. Thanks for coming in.
I'm so disappointed Tracy's not here.
Yes, I know. Everyone feels that, and it makes me feel wonderful that everyone gets disappointed that she's not here.
Yeah,
you've got to deal with me, but anyway, that's okay.
You're a good sort. You're a good sort.
Well, I have to say, this is one of the things about radio is you get to talk to people, interview people, and talk to them all around Australia, all around the world. And a lot of times you never get to meet them unless you're at a festival. And tonight's George and my first opportunity of meeting, but we feel like old mates because we're talking about people that we've known for years. And George has been associated with one way or another, and myself. And he was mentioning an interesting story. We're talking about Tori Dark and Christy Lamb, both either current or former guitar students of yours.
That's right. Well, they're former guitar students. There's also Nearly Rich, Amelia Richards from Nearly Rich. There's a former guitar student of mine. So we've all sort of evolved from the Macarthur Country Music Club in the Macarthur region of Sydney, out of southwestern Sydney. So I used to be in the band, the backing band for the club. And these little kids, as 9, 10, 11-year-olds used to come up on stage and, and sing, the little "If I Had a Pony" and all that kind of song, So I've seen these kids grow up, and now they're just stars on the Australian country music scene. It's spectacular. It's wonderful. It's really good. It's really good to see them getting ahead like they have.
We're in a really good position, aren't we, with Australian country music? And you must have really had a bit of pride, as we did, seeing Christy Lamb win the Best New Talent there at the CMC Awards the other night.
I'm getting choked up as we speak.
And of course, that's going to be broadcast on Thursday night on CMC. So if you missed it, folks, you'll be able to see Christy to make her presentation. I better not say that because people haven't watched. If they haven't seen it yet, they don't know who's going to win.
Spoiler alert.
Forget we even spoke.
Christy, I tell you, she's the hardest working person. I mean, I remember she was doing her HSC. She was in Year 11 and Year 12, and her mum used to bring her over every... I think it was every Wednesday afternoon or something like that, and it was like just for an hour for a guitar lesson and doing guitar arrangements for her latest composition. She was writing then, so I was trying to arrange little guitar bits for stuff, and then when she finally finished her HSC, she was invited for New South Wales for the high school's performance. They got her as the opening act for the high school's combined high schools performance thing, I don't know, like a big demonstration thing. Yeah. So she got me and a bunch of, she got her piano teacher and me, her guitar teacher, and a couple of other kids that were also in her class as her backing band, and we performed live at the Opera House in the concert hall.
Brilliant.
With Christy in her sort of red dress, as an 18-year-old, just finishing her HSC. Now, as a teacher, that was brilliant. I was so proud. And then and off she went. She took off and just kept going with it. And she's still rolling,
That's part of it, isn't it? It's the hard work and dedication behind it. And there's all the amount of talent that you can have. But at the end of the day, it's application and hard work behind it, isn't it?
Correct. And she would always say yes. I mean, she was like, after she finished high school, she after we did that thing, I made my own EP. And we recorded a video clip, and she was in the video clip for me, and she spent the whole day in there, and you never got to see her face. There's a bit of a gag to it. If you get around to YouTube, and look up George Sich, SICH, I Got a Little Drunk, and you'll see Christy Lamb. She's in the clip, like 95% of the clip, she's in it, but you never see her face.
Everyone's running to YouTube now. Don't go yet, folks. Wait until we're finished, and then you can go to YouTube and have a look at that. We're speaking with George Sich. Now, George, you're going to play a tune for us live right here in the studio tonight. What are you going to play?
Well, if you insist. Probably the first track off my EP was it's a song called Spinning and Swirling. And it's a song that I wrote a few years ago. Some friends of my parents, they celebrated their golden wedding anniversary, and there was about 200 plus people in the hall, and the band struck up this song, and it was the Tennessee Waltz, And he took her hand in his, and they started dancing to their bridal waltz.
Isn't that
for their golden wedding anniversary, and seriously, 200 people just evaporated, just disappeared. It was just them two.
Yeah.
You know, it was just one of those moments, and so I kind of I felt it. I had to sort of write their story more or less. It's a bit of creative license, but it's pretty much their life story.
George Sich, Spinning and Swirling.
Met long ago at a B&S ball, held in the old CWA hall. Their eyes on their shoes and their hearts on their sleeves. He held his hand out and said, "May I please?" All his mates just laughed and looked on. All the girls sighed, they knew she was gone. A hand on his shoulder, his arm round her waist, and the wallflowers sat and looked on. And they danced alone on the floor, everyone pointed and stared. And the band played an old country waltz. They went spinning and swirling and falling in love, spinning and swirling and falling in love. They'd been wed for a year, maybe more, when they sent him away to the war. Be over by Christmas, he said, no more tears. We didn't see him again for some years. He came home after the war, picked some wildflowers, then knocked on the door. "Sorry I'm late, love, I've brought you these." He held his hand out and said, "May I please?" And they danced alone on the floor as the dog and the cat sat and stared. And the wireless played their old country waltz. They went spinning and swirling and falling in love, spinning and swirling and falling in love. Now their kids are all up and grown, all have families and lives of their own. Gold anniversary and everyone's here. He held his hand out and said, "May I, dear?" And they danced alone on the floor as their grandchildren sat there and stared. And the band played that old country waltz. They went spinning and swirling and falling in love, spinning and swirling and falling in love, spinning and swirling and falling in love.